A lot of people spend a lot of money and time figuring out what their branding is, figuring out their branding. The branding, it's such a thing in this online world. And what I found from the Gene Keys, Richard Rudd, what he reminds me of again and again is that the branding is us. We are the brand. If you look at your life's work, that's your personal sun in astrology. That is your brand. That is the language that you're here to utilize to speak your message out into the world. There's many ways to tune into what that is, depending if you're into astrology, human design, gene keys. It doesn't really matter. What matters is connecting to the essence that is you and sharing that quality out in the world, expressing it. I find the gene keys to be useful as there's 6 different expressions, 6 different outlets of our branding. And it helps us to tune into the language that we can use to communicate our message. So for example, I am Life's Work 2, Jinky 2, Gift of Orientation, line 6. And the 6th line is here to use the branding, the language of education. That is the archetype that the 6th line mostly resonates with, as it's the visionary and the teacher. Not in the traditional sense of the teacher, but it's here to share from the space of the observer and from the first 30 years of experience, which acts like the 3rd line. Anyway, before getting deep into the lines, each line has its own essence, its own flavor, its own expression. And knowing what that is for you can be very helpful to communicate your message with the world. For some people, it's more using more humor, bringing more pleasure into their work, into sharing their work. If you're line 3, for example, that would be one of your cues, how you're here to share your life's work through humor, through pleasure, as you are the most diverse one out of all. You try many different paths, many different ways. One day you're into one thing, and next day you're into something else, and that gives you a lot of experience. And that's how you're here to learn, through experience. And then you get to share that by having the ability to really be honest and to be able to laugh at yourself sometimes, like at the ridiculousness of the drama that is life. If anyone knows how to live a really dramatic, wild life, I would say it's the 3rd line. And yeah, if you have the 1st line, the creator, your message is here to be someone who's really sharing it from that deep, bold space. It's got to be bold, because you're the first one. You gotta go, you gotta go deep into your life's work, into what are you offering, deep into the research, deep into your own self-certainty of what you're sharing, so that your message is received, because you're the first one. It's kind of like being the first child. The pioneer. And so instead of using old tactics of triggering people's fear, you could help people remember what it's like to feel safe in their bodies, what it's like to feel safe in their consciousness, in their being. What does that feel like, look like? How can you communicate your message from that place of safety? Safety first. Boldness, bold message that allows people to feel safe, stable. There's so many more cues and clues. You can look into the Golden Path sequence for specifically the Pearl sequence for prosperity, how to cultivate prosperity that is in right relationship with nature. And we have, as we are nature, we have certain codes, certain ways of expressing that nature. I find the Jinkies to be very useful to notice what are those natural codes that we carry. And there's many systems, many ways. This is not the only way. Yeah. If you resonate with this message, if it inspires something in you, let me know.